Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Arrow, episode 521, titled Honor Thy Fathers, which premiered Wednesday, May 10th, 2017 on CW, as well as episode 522, titled Missing, which premiered Wednesday, May 17th, 2017 on the CW. So, with that all said, I'm recording on May 21st, so it's been a few days since 522 has aired. So, with that all said, huge spoiler alert for the two episodes. If you haven't seen them already, go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about these two episodes. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen right now. Take a moment to read over those. And with that all said and done, let's start with the 20-minute clock this time, and let's begin with what happened in 521. So timeline wise, I'm not really sure exactly how long it's been since 520 or how long it's been since certain events, so I'll leave it at that. But the episode reminder, though, is pretty much the truth about Robert Queen, aka Oliver and Thea's father. Or I guess you could say Thea's supposed father, since her father's actually Merlin. But anyways, enough about that. Episode breakdown, though, for the story. I got 3 different storylines going on. First one having to do with retrials. Second one dealing with the dead body in a concrete delivery. And the third one having to do with a custody hearing. So with the first storyline, retrials, it's pretty much having City Hall pretty much reacting to the fact that Adrian Chase prosecuted so many cases, and now that it was revealed that he was the Prometheus, the throwing star killer that the city's been after, they had to go back and pretty much set all the cases that he had done in a retrial, and that resulted in 36 criminals being set free on bail because of it. One of them including Derek Sampson. As we know, he's the crime boss that fell in a vat of chemicals and ended up turning into this zombified being, essentially, to the point that he feels no pain. So shooting arrows at him, guns and bullets and stuff like that, none of that affects Derek. So in a sense, it's kind of like Mirakuru again, but it's not. We see his return and him trying to recreate a weapon for Prometheus. So there's that. Second storyline, though, dealt with the dead body delivered to Oliver's office at City Hall, and it ended up being the dead body of Councilman Goodman, who was accidentally killed by Robert Queen 15 years ago. So with the release, or with the discovery of the body, it now puts into question if Robert Queen actually killed the guy in the concrete or not. And it actually, a video resurfaced that it was an accident that Robert Queen ended up pushing the councilman over a vat of concrete during a disagreement between them. So that causes a lot of doubt flowing between Oliver and Thea about just who their father was and if he was really the man that they thought he was. But in the end, after this whole discovery of the differences between fathers and legacies, Oliver uses reverse psychology against Adrian Chase to get him to surrender by using the logic that while Oliver's father loved him and wanted to keep him and do everything by him, do right by him, Adrian's father, he used the lie of the father actually trying to disown Adrian and abandoning him. Not sure if that's truly the case, though, considering the lawyer of the family, of Adrian's family, couldn't really disclose any information. So that's what caused him to surrender. So third storyline, though, had to deal with custody hearing. Pretty much, it was a small side storyline, though, but Renee failed to appear at the hearing to regain custody of his daughter Zoe, while Quintilance was present. So there's that. You do find out later on in 522 why he missed the hearing, though, so I'll just leave it right there for now. Flashback-wise, so we see Anatoly taking over back to Lian Yu, and just as they make plans on Anatoly having bribe a fisherman to come by the island 2 days later to find Oliver after setting off a signal that he's there, Kovar kind of intervenes, and he tranquilizes Oliver just before he gets his plan ready for Anatoly's side help. So that's where the flashbacks end, though. But the last moments of the episode show Adrian Chase grinning like crazy in his Argus cell when he hears Oliver's press conference about moving forward. Doesn't really give you such a good feeling considering the state that he was in when he surrendered, and now he's acting as if like it's all part of his big plan. So there's that. Tidbit-wise, though, we do get the return of Thea, and we find out that she was not with Roy. As you know, Roy Harper enough. We also get Robert Queen. We find out that he used to take Oliver out to fly. We learned that in the flashback. We also learned that Robert Queen had left a video message for Thea, which Oliver never gave her, but he does give it to her in this episode, since he didn't want to burden her with what was in the video message, since he saw it clearly. Also, we had Felicity not being able to locate William. Oliver sees this as a good thing because then if Felicity can't find William, then there's no way Adrian Chase could find him. So he's thinking at least he's safe in that regards. Which we know that's not the case. And then also we get Oliver back in the Green Arrow suit now. So there's that. Moving on to our next episode, 522. Timeline-wise, again, don't know how long it's been between the two episodes. They kind of make a little reference. I think it's been about 2 days. It's definitely been about 3 days since the hearing, because Lance makes a note of that, of Renee not being seen and having mail piling up over the last 2 days at his house. But I do know that since Oliver's birthday is celebrated in this episode, his birthday was set May 16th. So it has to be either May 16th calendar-wise, or it's around that time for the team to throw Oliver a surprise birthday party. So anyways, episode reminder though is the fact that we get a lot of missing teammates from Team Arrow. So that's going to be an issue there. But the episode breakdown, let's move on to that. Two pretty much storylines. One's kind of a little sidebar before it leads you into the main one. But the first one was Oliver's birthday. Everyone expresses their vacation plans now that Prometheus is locked up. We also see Oliver and Felicity deciding to try again. They're going to take things one step at a time. So that's something right there. Again, this episode marks the mile marker of Oliver's birthday, and they even make a note of the fact that every year around this time, they're usually trying to stop some catastrophe from happening, like with the undertaking, the siege, and then the breakout that Grace Al Ghul was going to do, and then with and then what Damien Dark doing last year. Don't know what he was calling that though, but every year it's always been around Oliver's birthday, so finally they're able to celebrate for him. And he even said it's been a while since he celebrated his birthday. So there's that. The main storyline though, after all this fun, happy-go-lucky stuff, is the fact that Team Prometheus is actually kidnapping members of Team Arrow. So it was discovered that Renee has been missing for a few days. It is the very reason why he missed his custody hearing. We also get Dina Drake missing the birthday party because she was taken. So two of them aren't actually seen in this episode because of the fact that they were taken. And then we get Quentin Lance and Thea being taken from their safe house by Black Siren and Evelyn Sharp. And then we get Diggle and Felicity are taken by Talia and her fighters while they're trying to drive out of the city. And then we get Adrian Chase bringing everyone back to Lian Yu. And as this is all happening, Oliver's left alone, so he is stuck calling in Nisa Al Ghul just after Malcolm Merlin shows up and trying to get all these other able bodies to help him get his friends back. So there's that. Flashback though shows Kovar drugging Oliver in terms of torture. This drug forces Oliver to relieve his past pain. So while Kovar presses on a lot of Oliver's old wounds, Oliver relives the actual pain, and we get to see flashbacks of the old flashback footage. So that was pretty cool to see in itself. We get a few hallucinations in that regards due to the pain-inducing drug, or drug-inducing pain. Yeah, so there's that. Last moments of the episode actually have Oliver going to see Slade Wilson and asking for his help. As you know, Slade has been locked up in the Argus lockup that is on Lian Yu itself. So we actually see Slade Wilson's face at the very end in this episode instead of just hearing the voice saying, good to see you, or something like that. So there's that. Tidbit wise though, we get that Quentin Lance finds out about Black Siren. It definitely throws him for a loop there. We get Curtis having created a device for Dina to use her powers through any power dampeners. So there's that. We get Oliver knowing that Prometheus has kidnapped William, as well as a video was shown of William begging for someone to help him. We also see Nisa still referring to Oliver as her husband, and we also find out through Nisa that she had met Sarah on Lian Yu when her father had sent her to the island for a mission, and that's where she met Sarah. So there is that. So moving on though to the most shocking moment of the two episodes, I think for 521 it has to be the fact that Prometheus surrendered. I was not expecting that, especially under the reasons why it had happened. So that was a surprise in the moment. And then in 522, my surprise has to go to Oliver going to Slade for help. Now, It's a surprise because Oliver has reached this point. Forget the fact that it's super exciting to see Slade Wilson back on screen and the idea of him fighting alongside Oliver. Forget that excitedness for a second and just think about character-wise. Slade is a guy who tormented Oliver in season 2. He killed his mother. He terrorized the city, and now Oliver's gotten to this point that he is going to Slade and going to beg him for help. So it's really surprising that Oliver not only would reach that point, but in his mind he's gone so desperate to the fact that he now needs this man who's terrorized him, who he knows is a very formidable opponent. So it's very surprising because also this is Slade without the Mirakuru in him. He's just a regular human being now. I wouldn't say regular, but biologically, he's just a regular human being. So while I'm excited to see Slade back, I'm a little worried what this is going to do to Oliver and just whether or not we should trust Slade or not. Because for all intents and purposes, Slade hates Oliver. So, why would he agree to help him? Type of thing. So anyways, let's move on to the top 3 favorite moments. First off with episode 521. First thing I really liked about the episode was Felicity's speech to Oliver about leaving the past behind, and how instead of living today with the past kind of pushing him to do certain things, just to live forward and just leave everything in the past. And then having him repeat that to Thea was find that Oliver does that a lot though, but it was just great to see Felicity giving one of those speeches again to Oliver and just having things clear up for him. I really like that. I really miss those types of moments, so it was great to see that again. Another favorite of mine was actually seeing Oliver and Thea back together again. Thea's been away for quite a while, so it's just great to see the siblings back at this hard time when their father's character is being questioned. Great to see them being there for each other and really supporting each other, and then just trying to help each other out. It was great to see the two of them back at it together. And then also the third favorite was the fact that we got to see Robert Queen. It wasn't just his character, but the fact that we actually got to see him. We got to see the video footage that he had given Oliver and Thea. The fact that we got to hear more about him, a little tidbits of memories that both Oliver and Thea had of him. Just really great. So it was great to see that. Now, for 522, a huge thing that I liked about this episode was all the familiar faces we got to see. We got to see Malcolm Merlin again. The last time he was actually on the Arrow episodes was in the 100th episode during the whole Dominator's alternate reality thing, while we've gotten used to seeing him all on Legends of Tomorrow. So it's great to see Malcolm again interacting with Oliver in that. It was also great to see Nisa again. It's been a while since we've seen her, and just great to see the very bad tension between her and Malcolm, and they really don't like each other. So it's just funny to see that happening again. It was great to see Yao Fei again through the hallucination in the flashback when Oliver was drugged up. It was also great to see a flashback version of Laurel in the form of a hallucination, again with through Oliver's drugged hallucination, and then to see Laurel again as Black Siren in the present day. It was very interesting to see the two different versions, especially the flashback Laurel had the brown hair. She had the season 1 look and everything. So, and then you have the current Black Siren look. It was really cool to see the two differences. And then again, finally at the end, it was great to see Slade Wilson again. It's been a very long time since we've seen him. So that was great as well. Another favorite of mine in this episode was the core Arrow team working together, trying to find their new team members. It was great seeing Oliver, Felicity, and Diggle trying to figure things out between each other, and then coming to the conclusion that Felicity and Diggle need to leave town to kind of give Oliver the opportunity to work without fearing that they're in trouble, but then to have Felicity and Diggle talk while leaving the city that this is bad, we shouldn't be leaving him, and then turning around and then having them revisit that moment and even bringing up Isabel Rochev. It was just really great to see the original trio working together again, and just it gave me season 1, season 2 vibes for sure. So it was really great to see that. Another favorite of mine was Oliver and Malcolm. Just the tension and the hatred towards each other, and the fact that they hate each other, but technically they're family through Thea. So it was interesting to see how they work, and then to just have Malcolm bring up all of his observations and telling Oliver, you cannot be this dumb to not realize that this is what they're doing, or Malcolm making out these points of how like the bad guys doing certain things, or how they've been always a few steps ahead of them type of thing. So it's very interesting to get Malcolm's input on the situation, and Oliver just being frustrating in having to interact with him because of all the bad history between them. So there is that. Moving on, though, to top 3 peeve moments. I actually only have 3. It's a split between the 2 episodes. So for 521, I did not like the fact that Prometheus surrendered when Oliver used reverse psychology on him. Yes, it's clever, but Prometheus has been such a 10 steps ahead type of guy. I didn't really think that would be the thing that would make him surrender. Of course, now looking back on it, that's probably what he was hoping for this whole time. But, like, in that moment when it happened, I just felt like, really, that's all it had to take. So it was a little disappointing there. And also, a peeve of mine was the fact that Renee didn't even go to his custody hearing. Again, in the moment, it felt... I didn't like it because it's something that he was working towards, but then to find out later on he didn't really have a choice in missing it because he was kidnapped, makes it a little less of a peeve. But based on the episode only, without regarding 522, that was a peeve. Now for 522, the fact that Lance was not made aware of the multiverse, and the fact that there are possible doppelgangers of themselves on this earth, or that there are even doppelgangers in existence, it didn't... I thought he would have been clued in about that fact. I'm still trying to think whether or not he was clued in when the Dominator situation happened, but I don't think so, because I think he only appeared in the flashbacks in that episode. But, like, at one point or another, I thought he would have been caught up to speed about that aspect. So that was a little bug right there, because then at least the aspect of seeing Laurel again might not have been so daunting. Like, he would have been, like, a little more prepared, even if he wasn't told that she was actually on their earth, but the fact that she existed somewhere might have been a bit more helpful for him. I don't know. But moving on, though, to what moment will I remember most when I look back on these 2 episodes. For 521, the fact that Oliver captured Prometheus, that's going to be a big one that I remember. And then for 522, the fact that it was Oliver's birthday. It's a milestone marker, so that's going to be a huge thing to remember for that. But moving on, though, to random questions. They all came from 521, though. And first one was, when will we see Roy Harper again? I really want to see him again, see how he's doing and stuff like that. Since we didn't see him since last season when the calculator kind of took control of his actions. So there's that. But another question is, what will Prometheus do with William? How exactly did he set things up in that regard? And did he end up taking William's mom as well? Because I doubt that he just took William and then the mom just is worrying over her son being missing and not having contacted Oliver already. I mean, I would think that Prometheus took her as well too, though. So there's that. So moving on to predictions, though. So this is for the finale. So based off the promo for 523, it shows the epic battle of Team Arrow versus Team Prometheus, which is super exciting as well, though. But based off the synopsis, it's a long one, though. But it reads that the battle between Oliver and Adrian Chase culminates in a final battle on Lian Yu. After recent events, Oliver decides to recruit a group of unlikely allies, Slade, Nisa, Merlin, and Digger Harkness, to defeat Chase. However, Chase has his own army, Black Siren, Evelyn Sharp, and Talia al Ghul. And the forces collide in an explosive season finale. Now that right there, it's already going to show it being epic. Even the promo kind of supports that aspect. But just based off the lineup alone, we know who's going to win here. I mean, anyone on Team Arrow can knock out Evelyn Sharp. There's no question about that. So she's not even, no offense to her, but like she's not much of a threat. And then chances are it's going to be sister against sister. So you're going to have Nisa versus her own sister and Talia. So there's something right there. And then we're going to see the 2 canaries going at each other, Black Siren versus Dina Drake, as they both have the same powers. So you got that going on there. And then I'm going to see probably Oliver teaming up with Slade, Merlin, and Digger to go against Prometheus. Although technically, I don't think he needs all those bad guys to go up against Prometheus all at the same time. But he's shown that Oliver by himself can't go up against Prometheus. So it's definitely maybe 2-on-2 or something. I don't know. But it just feels like there's nothing special about Prometheus. It's like he's not hooked up on Mirakuru like Slade was, which is why it became such a difficulty for Oliver to defeat him like that in season 2. But like, I think it's just fighting wise, Oliver can't beat Prometheus because they're both trained by Talia. So that's only one trainer though. While Oliver has also been trained by Slade. He's also been trained by the Ra's al Ghul, which is who Merlin was also trained after as well. So I think a little bit of different fighting styles is what's going to take Prometheus down. But I really don't think that Prometheus is that big of a huge adversary that you need all these bad guys to go up against. There's the time. And the only thing that really makes Prometheus more deadly than anyone else previously is the fact that he has gone inside Oliver's head. He's taken so many years to get to know the enemy and to really get inside and to the point that he could be him in a sense. And it's very similar to what Slade had done, the fact that he was once his friend, he knows how Oliver ticks type of thing. So it's kind of like Prometheus' Slade 2.0 in a sense in regards to how he targeted against Oliver and what he knows about him in a sense though. But I'm just going to go off of that though. But I am excited to see the huge team ups going on. I definitely can't wait to see the return of all these familiar faces once again. It's really building up to this huge fight, and it actually has me excited like in the season 2 finale when they had the huge fight that happened on the streets, and they were gearing up for that one. So I'm really excited to see how this ends. So with that all said though, any news that's come up? Actually, yes. So this last week, the CW upfronts happened on Thursday, and they announced the new fall schedule coming up, and they revealed that Arrow now has a new night. Arrow is going to be on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Starting, I believe, in October with season 6. So that's something to think about as well, though. But otherwise, I don't really have any other predictions coming for the finale. But what did you guys think of the episode? Or the 2 episodes? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen in the finale? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all of that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below for both episodes. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check it out. I'm a little behind, but I am going to catch up after all these videos are posted. So there's that. Also, it's connected to my WordPress account. For the link for that is down below. It's a little more organized, but I'm still working on it, so it's a work in progress, so keep that in mind. But it has everything a little bit separated a little better. So check that out if you want as well. And I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next time to see what I have to say about the season finale. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.